We must understand that apathy is an enemy. Apathy, the tendency to do nothing, is our greatest enemy. We must conquer our own apathy wherever we may find it. This, in fact, is the teachings of Lord Krishna to Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita. Are you a follower of Bhagavad Gita? Are you a follower of Sanatana Dharma? Then we must conquer our apathy and take a stand for doing something to maintain Vedic Dharma. We have to be fearless to protect and promote Vedic Dharma. And that's why I'm honored and proud to share the stage today with such people as Dr. Subramanian Swami and Kamal Kumar Swami. They are examples of the fearlessness of which I speak. I am honored in this way. I'm honored to be in front of you, and I'm honored to be proud to be called a Hindu, a follower of Sanatana Dharma. But we should all be honored and proud in the same way and willing to work together. We don't have to proselytize, but we can share the benefits of what our culture has given to us and to the world. For example, in Secunderabad, near Hyderabad, a few years ago, there was a Krishna temple that the government wanted to move in order to widen the road. But all the local Hindus came together with a big demonstration to protest, and the state actually backed down. This shows what can be done and what has to be done when Hindus unite, and shows that we can continue, that we must continue to do this. Then people will take us more seriously and reconsider before they simply get up to offend Hindus and think that there will be no reaction. People will hesitate before taking Hindus lightly or making us upset, but we have to have the determination to make a stand. And once we begin to work in this way, we cannot stop but must continue for the long term and never stop until the goal is reached. Sometimes just by doing a little endeavor, we don't know and may even be surprised at what doors of opportunity will open for us. Sometimes all it takes is that we just start. Just put one step in front of the other, and suddenly we step into a force, a current of energy that lifts us along like nothing we have experienced. Like a reciprocation from something that is far greater than that which exists within ourselves, but something that far exceeds our own expectations and our own individual power. We have no idea how many times this has happened to me, and I'm sure many of you know exactly what I'm talking about. So can you imagine what would happen if all of us stepped forward in unity for the Dharma and open ourselves to that opportunity to make a difference? Plus, the more we all step forward to do something together, the easier it becomes for everyone. You do a little bit, I do a little bit, pretty soon something big is happening. Just like this event today. Everybody steps forward, does a little something, and a nice, beautiful event like this takes place. This is what I'm talking about. It is one thing, however, to say that we are united, and quite another to work and act united, engaged in concerted efforts as one community to protect, defend, and promote our culture. It should not matter whether we are Vaishnavas, Shaivites, Brahmanandis, Shaktas, or even Bengalis, Gujaratis, Tamils, Rajasthanis, or may I say Americans, or any ethnicity. Because when one aspect of the Vedic tradition is threatened, demeaned, or unnecessarily criticized, then it is the whole culture that is under attack. And we must see it that way. We must step forward and be strong dharmists and make a stand for our tradition and its future. So let us support each other in friendship, in dharmic brotherhood and sisterhood. Let us not become divided by minor or superficial differences or labels, but let us gather and see our unity, our similarities, as spiritual beings, all part of the Supreme Spirit. That is the ultimate teaching of Bhagavad Gita and Vedic Shastra. That perception of reality is becoming increasingly rare these days in society. But it is an inherent principle and basic reality of Vedic Dharma and Dharmic civilization. That is why I call it the last bastion of deep spiritual truth. Because if we ever lose Vedic culture, the world has no idea of what its loss truly is. It is the Vedic culture which holds the essential spiritual understanding, which is beyond simply moralistic ethics, and gives you the higher principles of self-realization. It gives you direct access to the absolute, the supreme, not only by descriptions, but by offering the methods by which we can perceive and directly experience it by spiritualizing our consciousness. Basically, you find that nowhere else. Not to this extent. It gives us one of the last hopes for true world peace, actually. Let us not forget that and also help each other raise our consciousness and maintain that spiritual vision of who and what we really are. That will also pave the way for a truly united Hindu society. There is no greater need for Hindu unity than right now, since there are forces that are also gathering that are trying to work against us, as we've heard. The problem is that it is in our nature to respect everyone. And there's nothing wrong with that, except everyone, not everyone, wants to return the same respect back towards us. In fact, there are those who would like to see our complete extinction, the complete demise of Hinduism or Vedic culture if they could, such as we have seen in Pakistan, Bangladesh, Kashmir, and so on, in other parts of India. How long does it take before it becomes obvious that we must stand together, even if only to preserve and protect what remains of our culture, and preserve and protect the homeland of our culture, Mother India, Bharatvarsha? We must also recognize that people or groups who mean to do us harm, or even wish for our extinction, and then defend ourselves and our culture from their attacks, whatever they may be. But we need to be proactive and develop long-term plans, not merely wait for something to happen and then show some knee-jerk reaction. There are many who already know this and are already working in this way, but can you imagine if the whole Vedic community acted in this way together and supported such plans? It would have profound effects. But many of these more detailed plans you can read about in my book, Crimes Against India, and the need to protect its ancient Vedic tradition. But essentially, we all need to work in a way where we can decide where we want to be in 5 more years. Where is the Hindu community going to be in 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 15 or 20 years from now? Where are we going to be? Where do we want to be in 20 years, and start making plans of action so that we can reach those goals? That's what we need to do. The thing of it is, we still have a sizable population of nearly 1 billion Hindus around the world. But have you ever wondered why we are still not as formidable a force as we should be? In places like America, Indians, most of which are Hindus, are one of the wealthiest ethnic groups in the country. And we are certainly gathering influence here. Many more Indians are entering politics like never before. But we still have not become as formidable a force in the world as we could be. And why is that? Well, it's simple, quite really. It's because of a lack of organized effort, too much apathy, but primarily a lack of unity amongst us. Many times we come across people who want to do the same things as we do. I want to create something, he wants to do the same thing, but the problem is our egos are too big to be able to allow us to work together. We need to drop the ego. We need to drop, the point of it is, it's not the message it's not the messenger that's most important, it's the message. It's not the act or the work or the worker that does the most important thing, but it's the work that gets accomplished which is the most important thing. So with the united force, we can more easily see to it that the laws in government, for example, are passed that help defend Hindus rather than take our freedoms away. If we were a united and proactive force, politicians would be scrambling to get our favor. If we are united and proactive, We would get respect from politicians, and we could create greater recognition on the importance for them to acquire the Hindu vote, especially in India. We could also have more control over the media that today thinks that being secular means to be anti-Hindu. We would get non-Hindus or critics of Hinduism to feel that they cannot just say any damn thing against us because we won't do anything about it. We need to be a force to be reckoned with, a force that is watching what others are doing for or against us and listening to what they are saying about us, and then be ready to stand up and do something about it when necessary. We must unite under a common set of values, concepts, and traditions that can be the universal uniting factors for all Hindus. This does not mean that we give up our distinctions, or our lineages, or paramparas, but that we focus on uniting on the basis of what we can easily agree on, such as the basis of the Bhagavad Gita. Everyone knows Bhagavad Gita, or should know it, and there are all kinds of knowledge within it. But the thing that many people seem to forget is that the Bhagavad Gita is a call to defend Dharma. It is a call to action. That was one of the motivating factors for Arjuna from Lord Krishna, that Arjuna must not run away, as I previously stated, and simply run to the forest, which is what he wanted to do. That's what he wanted. But he must stand up and fight to defend Sanatana Dharma. And we must do the same, because as we can plainly see all around us, that without Dharma, basically the whole world is falling into hell and confusion. As exhibited by the Mahabharata, sometimes when all else fails, you have to stand up and fight to protect Dharma and its spiritual principles. We must also have the attitude that no Hindu is left behind, at least no sincere Hindu. A true Dharmic leader or Vedic ambassador will feel this in the core of his heart. Everyone in the Vedic community must see that all Hindus as Dharmic brothers and sisters as being eligible to make the same spiritual progress as anyone else. Why? No Hindu left behind. That means everyone is eligible to enter the temples, everyone is eligible to participate in the traditions, everyone is eligible to participate in the core identity of being a Dharmist, a Hindu. Everyone should feel that they have a place and are valued and have something to contribute, something to offer. This is the basis of enthusiasm, which everyone should feel. This is the power of a united Dharmic community. No Hindu is left behind. When this is established, it creates a most positive atmosphere in all who participate. It creates a very positive future, and it increases a winning team in which many others want to join. Everyone wants to be on a winning team, right? And then feel they can stand up and do their part. Then we all become very powerful in our ability to change this world and bring in and manifest the spiritual vibration for one and all. Then we all become a part of that uplifting force, which is the ultimate destiny for all humanity, and which is also described in Vedic Shastra, like Bhagavad Gita.